Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to Wrestling Babble. I am the donkey who lives in Ponky, Gaz Williams, and joining me as always, the guy who lives in Fly, Dan Williams. There he is. Yes.
Channeling me Biggie. Unfortunately, Biggie wasn't here this time.
No. This is the first of the new brand split, because obviously we had one a long time ago for y'all who wasn't following in
2000.
It was the early to mid 2000s.
2003.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
We'll go with that. Yeah, this is the first podcast of the new era in the brand split. This was Backlash that took place on Sunday, September the 11th, live from the Richmond Coliseum in Richmond, Virginia. Yes, what did you think of Backlash?
It wasn't. I watched a lot of other reviews after watching it, and a lot of people said, "Oh, it was really good." It wasn't. People were expecting Backlash to be a bit cack and to be this, but they were pleasantly surprised. Whereas with me, it had its moments, don't get me wrong. Backlash did have its moments. I will get to those when we get into the full in-depth review. But it was a bit of a slog to get through for me. Yeah. There was a lot of dull moments, which is a shame, because for this to be their first pay-per-view out of the brand split, you would have thought they'd come out of the gate running.
Definitely.
But there was a lot. They did a lot of stuff which is like, yes, they did that right, but there was some stuff it was like, but we'll get to that.
At times it did to me, it felt like, well, for lack of a better term, an extended episode of Smackdown.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's just me, but that seems to be the way that a lot of the events are going now. They feel less sort of, this is, this month's event, this is a big thing. It kind of feels like just glorified TV at times.
It's just a continuation.
Yeah.
So let's get to the first match in the main card.
Yes, the 6-pack elimination challenge for the first ever WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. I like the fact that they've gone away from the whole Divas thing.
Yes,
because you think
definitely.
Divas, you just think, well, they're just tarts that slap each other now and again.
It's like the TNA knockouts.
Yeah, well, that's what I've always said is if you look at the TNA knockouts and you look at the WWE Women's Division, to break it down to a gentleman's level, the WWE Women's Division are Playboy bunnies and the TNA knockouts are off X-Tube.
Yeah.
That's the nicest way I can say it, because they look a bit sort of like they could do with a bloody good wash.
Yeah.
But I'm not here to cast assumptions and aspersions upon female ladies and such. But,
upon women, or upon people of the opposite gender.
Yes. The pharaoh type.
Yes.
Exquisite. Fascinating. Yep, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, Naomi, Natalia, and the returning fearless Nikki Bella in the 6-pack challenge. Now, it was a good match to start off the pay-per-view, to be fair. It's an awful thing to say, but after the whole Divas Revolution thing, my expectations for women's wrestling have gone back down again. Because it's as if they had this big storyline of the Divas Revolution, and then it sort of just,
yeah, I can see what you mean.
And it just went. But this was a really, it was a fast-paced match. There was a lot. Usually in matches like this, where there's, even if it's the men, if there's 6 people on the crack at once, it tends to get a bit sort of oversaturated, and it's just a whole mess of spots.
Yeah.
I mean, you've only got to look at the ladder matches they have at WrestleMania. They usually open WrestleMania with.
Yeah.
It's just a case of spot, he's won.
Yeah.
But this, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, granted, there were a lot of moments where it was just, let's just push everyone out the ring and leave 2 people in, but I can see why they did that, because they didn't want the mess of everyone trying to get their moment. Everyone in this got a moment to shine, which is great, because it gave everyone their chance to show off. Had the ending we all wanted, because finally Becky Lynch is a champion, which is, again, what we wanted.
Yes.
It was a great opportunity for the new people as well, because you had Alexa Bliss and Carmella in there with quite a lot of seasoned veterans, shall we say, and they really came out of this strong. Evidently, Smackdown this week, we found out that Alexa Bliss is taking on Becky Lynch for the WWE Women, or the Smackdown Women's Championship at some point.
I did not see that coming.
No, neither did I.
I did not see that
but I'm happy with it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, to be honest, I hate to say it, because I think she doesn't get props for what she does, but I was kind of glad it wasn't Natalia, because it just would have felt as if it was a case of, we'll give you this, and then you'll lose it in 6 weeks, and then you'll probably leave and go.
Yeah. like
somewhere
we said when we were watching it, people like Natalya, Naomi, and Nikki Bella should be there to coach the new people, just to give them
the rub.
The rub, basically, yeah.
Squeezy.
Yeah, give them the squeezy, which happened in the match.
Yeah.
Someone grabbed the bum.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch grabbed the bum.
An ass cheek was woman handled.
Yeah, woman handled, yeah. Naomi looked amazing.
Yeah.
I hate to coin what she says in her theme, but she really looked great.
She's
come a lot.
Since they've repackaged her, it's as if she's upped her game and she's thought, right, if I want to stand out and be relevant in this, and let's be honest, it's quite, because there's not that many sorry, I said divas.
Female wrestlers.
Superstars. Female superstars there, it's quite competitive to get on TV.
Yeah.
So I think she's upped the game, and I think that entrance is awesome.
Yeah.
It is really cool. It's something, even if her match was shit, her entrance is awesome, because people would still be talking about it.
Yeah, and that's a good thing, is because obviously the entrance is good, and you think, oh, well, is she going to bring it? And she does. She did loads of great stuff in this match. So, high applause to it.
Definitely, yeah. It was a really, it's just got to see now if the women on Raw can produce anything this good. So they've thrown down the gauntlet. Bring it on, ladies.
Yes.
Next match, we have got the Usos, who have just had a heel turn, fighting the Hype Bros, the team of Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder. Yeah. The LR. I think I've got that the right way around. Or the fly. Yes. Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
What?
I'm going to interrupt you there. Sorry. Let's talk the Usos heel turn. This is an interesting point of discussion. As most people have discussed, they are taking cues from people like the Revival by targeting limbs.
Yeah.
But that is a classic heel tactic.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah. You've got to take out your
exactly.
Your opponent somehow.
It's interesting that they're not trying to finish every match the same way, because they finished the match against the Hype Bros with a submission.
And that's one of the first times in my recent memory I've ever seen the Usos with us attempt any sort of submission, let alone finish a bloody match with one.
Because they're always about the high flying and things like that.
Looking nice,
yeah.
Pretty.
The big argument, I think, going into the whole Usos heel turn is it too late?
I do agree with you there. It's sort of, I think the thing with the Usos is they were so, I mean, okay, you could argue, and I'm not comparing the Usos and the gentleman I'm going to mention, you could argue the whole, well, Hulk Hogan spent from 1985 or 84, 85 up until the mid-90s as a face, and then he turned heel and that worked, but
the thing with
I wouldn't put the Usos on that sort of pedestal. But
the thing with Hulk Hogan was, when it happened, it was kind of building that way anyway, because the audience were kind of turning on him a little bit, so and no one would see it coming because he was the ultra baby face.
Yes.
So that's why it works so well. Whereas with the Usos, yes, the crowd have turned on them somewhat because people are bored of them.
Yeah.
But I'm keeping an open mind because they could do something really good with this.
What is going on with Zack Ryder? I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, the guy was in main event storylines a couple of years ago with John Cena, but
now
he got knocked back down to NXT to work with Mojo. And let's be honest, I mean, Zack Ryder is in his early 30s now. I mean, okay, a lot of the guys there now, Cena, Miz, Orton, AJ, they're all mid to late 30s, and they're still at the top of their game. But you're kind of thinking with Zack Ryder, is this sort of, if this team fails, are we going to sort of wave bye-bye to Z Long Island story, man?
I hope not.
No, neither do I, because I
He'll
like
turn
Zack
up in
Ryder.
TNA as Jack Bider or something like that.
Yeah, that's an interesting game to play, actually. Play it, maybe not the next time you watch Raw, but the next time you watch a pay-per-view. We were playing the game where we would look at wrestlers and think, what happened if they went to TNA or to Ring of Honor or somewhere like that? Because a lot of the time, the names they use at WWE, they're not allowed to use anywhere else.
Such as Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, so they'd be interesting to see what would they change their names to. But we'll come to that. So was it Jack Bider?
Yeah, Jack Bider.
We'll have Jack Bider for Zack. But the Usos beat the Hype Bros. We haven't really talked about the match, but to be
No.
honest, it wasn't that memorable. It was
it was, like you said about the majority.
just a SmackDown
It
match.
was a SmackDown match, yeah, which is a shame because they had some good people in the ring, but there wasn't a lot going on, really. It was kind of... I said the best part of it was just seeing what the Usos would do in a heel situation, and they brought some interesting stuff to the table.
And this was the semi-final match for the tag team tournament to declare the first ever SmackDown tag team champions. So the Usos advanced to the final where they would face the winners of they would fight Heath Slater and Rhino. I got confused, and the reason that this was a semi-final match was because originally it was American Alpha in the final, but Chad Gable got injured.
And that's legit.
Yeah, legit injury. Apparently, according to sources that I do rely on, he's been carrying injuries since NXT, so he's had a bit of a rest. So, yeah, the Usos and the Hype Bros got called back up, and the Usos advanced to the final to fight Heath Slater and Rhino.
Yeah.
Next match we have got, for me, this was one of the most entertaining matches of the evening because it was just, for me, it was an old school heel versus face match. It was the Miz, the Hollywood A-lister, the coward, the man who is scared to get hit with his Mrs. Maurice, defending against Dolph Ziggler, or as we were calling him, Ralph Diggler. But this was a fantastic, I can say, old school heel versus face, even to how the match ended.
Yes.
It was great. I mean, it was looking, you're thinking now with Ziggler, the Fed have got to put a belt on him soon. They've got a title. Sorry, we're not allowed to use the word belt anymore. I don't know why.
Put the strap on him.
Strap. They've got to put a title on him soon because he's getting to a point now where I don't like what he is now. He's just there.
Yeah.
It's like, right, he's an amazing worker. He bombs like a boss. Who can we stick him with? Oh, we'll put him in there. That'll do. That'll keep him quiet for a couple of weeks. They need to put a belt on him, or he's just going to fade into the background and then end up as Ralph Diggler on TNA.
Yeah. My opinion, this was match of the night.
Really, you reckon?
Yeah, match of the night. Easily. Because it was a classic IC title match. It was the workhorse match. It was where the guys who are basically trying to get noticed, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
And like you said, it felt like a classic match.
This
had
could happily
everything.
have happened at WrestleMania 6.
Yeah,
At
easily.
the Skydome in Toronto.
Easily. But that's what I loved about it. I loved that it had those classic elements. I think this is where SmackDown are going to have the slight edge on Raw. I think they'll try and go down the classic routes. They'll make you feel like you're watching an old show. Like you'll feel like you're watching Shawn Michaels against the Honky Tonk Man, which is what that match could have been.
Yeah.
Very easily.
Yeah, I mean, props to the Miz. At the moment, the guy's on fire.
Oh, yes.
After that sort of pipe bomb on Talking Smack, I mean, I don't know how much of that was shoot and how much of it was scripted, but for me, it's done wonders for the Miz. 'Cause, I mean, I've always sort of liked the Miz and what he does, and like I've said in previous episodes, my wife has always loved the Miz because he's awesome. Yeah, that's hers. But it's as if someone's lit a fire under his ass and he's off to the races. And he's brilliant, and I think he makes an amazing Intercontinental champion because he plays the role so well. It's a case of, I'm the champ, I'm more important than everyone, balls to the rest of you. And he's absolutely fantastic.
It's what I always say about The Miz is, yes, his character is an arsehole and you hate him for it, but he does it so well.
I would even go on a limb and say he is the best heel on SmackDown.
I'd say he's one of the best heels in the company.
Yeah.
Because he's legitimate.
Yeah, and you believe every word he says.
You believe every word he says.
Yeah, we mentioned last time about Dean Ambrose, and you can see they're trying to push him as a heel, and some of the things he says, and it's like,
you don't believe it.
You're a knob, but I believe you're just a knob in general.
Yeah.
With the Miz, I mean, all right, you can see it's a character because you've seen Miz of old, and you see that he's a fairly decent fellow who's a bit of a bad guy, but you genuinely invest in his character and believe in the character of him being a knob. Yes.
And that's why that scripted shoot
we don't know where it stands
on Talking Smack worked because he's so good at it.
Oh yeah. I
mean, I know people would say, well, he said the same thing multiple times, that makes it a script,
we've heard it all before
and things like that, but It was so passionate, and it was something you hadn't seen from The Miz in a long time.
Yeah, Roman Reigns, take notes.
Yeah, and Roman Reigns is taking notes.
Yeah, sitting there with his pad and paper.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, it was, going back to the match now, it was very, very good. As I said, it was match of the night for me.
Yeah.
Everything you wanted was there. There was drama, there was storytelling.
Big spots.
There was big spots. Heel finish.
Yeah, that finish could have either worked or it could have fallen flat. But for me, it worked. It was Ziggler was looking as if he was gonna pull off the shock of the night and capture the Intercontinental title. And then Maurice stepped in while the ref had his back to him and sprayed him in the face. And it was brilliant.
It was great.
It was
Reminds you of the days of the sand in the eyes.
Yeah, Mr. Fuji.
Yeah, Mr. Fuji throwing the sand in the eyes and everything like that. And it was great.
The next match was a one-fall contest. The Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt, or Ray Bryant as we were calling him, facing the Viper, Randy Marsh. Randy Marsh would have been better in there.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, legitimately, Randy Orton is still injured. He suffered a concussion in the marquee match against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, and he still hasn't been fully cleared by WWE doctors to fight. So he suffered a storyline. Was it an ankle injury or something like that?
It's like an ankle or a knee
injury.
Between
Between one of the matches, there was a vignette where the camera's, what's going on in this corridor, where no one seems to be knocking about. And Bray Wyatt was kicking 7 bells of shit out of Randy Orton.
Trapping his leg in the door, a la Richie's head in bottom.
Yeah, like someone off bottom. He might as well have been sticking his head in the fridge.
You know what's funny?
Yeah, well, I'm sticking his head. They say television causes violence, and I'm smashing his head, and we haven't even got a telly.
That's what he's wrong, listeners. We do have a telly. Here it is. Back to the match.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt came down the ring. It was said that Randy Orton was injured, so he was going to forfeit. So the ref did the 10 count so that Bray Wyatt won by forfeit. And then all of a sudden, the ring announcer, sort of fake Howard Finkel.
Well, he got a bit of paper, didn't he?
Yeah, was handed a note written on the back of a fag packet, and said that a mystery opponent had been announced for Bray Wyatt. And at this point, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, are we going to see the main roster debut of Bobby Roode?
Or Samoa Joe.
Yeah, or just someone. And then we got Kane. We can't tell you exactly how we reacted, so we're gonna show you how I'm guessing other people probably reacted to the news. Yeah, that's Dan near enough.
I nearly destroyed your living room.
Yeah, he nearly knocked an entire bag of fruit pastels all over the floor, which Brother Holmes would have quite happily have eaten.
So I was sitting there, I was like, oh, it better not be Kane.
We said to me either Kane or Big Show, or at the worst, Great Khali.
See, if he was if it was all Dirty Lee, it would have been great.
Lee.
If it was Dirty Lee, it would have been great.
Yeah.
But no, we got Kane.
Shite match. Bray Wyatt underutilised, and then who come out at the end? South Park's apex predator, Randy Marsh, come hobbling down with his shit ankle injury. It's an RKO. Kane did his crap chokeslam. I mean, I'm guessing he can't do tombstones no more because he's too old and sort of, my back.
I just realised something.
Go on.
Obviously,
I keep calling Randy Orton Randy Marsh.
No. Obviously, Kane wears a wig these days.
Yeah.
So we'll never get Kane for us.
Shit.
Think about it.
It's a sad day. Sad day in Babble Studios.
It is, yes. The best bit of the match for that was just Bray doing this.
Yeah.
That was the best part.
The spot where he put Kane on a table, stood on the other table, give it the Orton, and then sort of just went... and then sent on there. That was brilliant. That spot was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a waste of time.
Yeah.
I mean, they could.
The following contest is a no contest.
Yeah, that was a match I was looking forward to not watching.
Yeah.
They could even have put in. What if they introduced a third person to the rivalry? Someone who was sort of not a heel or a face, like a neutral, who they could have like a 3-way rivalry with. That would have been more interesting.
Yeah, like a 3-way dance.
Yeah, basically. But Kane.
It's like I said when we were watching it.
The old Gav.
It's not that. It's a case of we've got Kane on our payroll. Quick, do something with him.
Yeah, justify him.
Justify him being here. Quick, send him out. Like they've done it on Raw, where they'll have someone someone will be in the ring being a total utter bastard, and then it's like, oh, quick, send Kane out. You'll sort him out. Ta-ra.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just disappointed. This for me was the low point.
I'm not upset.
Yeah, I'm just
disappointed.
Yeah, this was the low point of the night for me.
Yeah.
But which skyrocketed back up to the cosmos with our next match was the final in the inaugural. I got that word right then. Yes. The WWE Smackdown Tag Team Championship Tournament final, which was the Usos who beat the Hype Bros earlier on in the evening, fighting. Let's be honest. No one could have seen this coming. The team and the heat they've got. I mean, Rhino and Heath Slater, holy dog shit.
Yes.
What? Just Heath Slater. I mean,
he's just one man.
Yeah. He promised was it Bueller, his wife?
Yeah.
That storyline is brilliant. It's just so ludicrous. I think WWE have got to the point where they think, right, there's no way in hell that we're gonna replicate what TNA are doing with Broken Matt Hardy.
No.
So let's do a storyline that's just as ludicrous but is a bit more family friendly. Because I don't think you could stick Matt Hardy as Broken Matt on WWE because it'd frighten kids. Kids would be terrified. Kids would be going to sleep at night and then they'd just think, they'd see the xylophone and shit their pants. They'd expect Senior Benjamin to be cutting the edge of the school and stuff. But this Heath Ledger story is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
The whole thing with the 7 kids and they live in a caravan and things like that.
I love his new t-shirt.
Yeah, I got kids. I need this. I really need this job on the back. It's just brilliant. And Rhino as well. I mean, Rhino was sort of, ECW star. If my memory serves me correctly, it was either him or Mike Awesome was the final ever ECW heavyweight champion. I will look this up in a sec as we get talking, but brilliant match.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic match.
I thought it was good because, again, it gave the Usos a chance to show off the new heel ways, and they did a great thing by cutting the ring in half, which you don't see that often anymore, because a lot of tag team match, you don't see the stuff like that. Again, you see it with the Revival, but you don't see it a lot in a lot of main roster kind of tag team matches. It's just very, do this, right, you're done kind of thing. There's no, like I say, cutting of the ring. But no, it was really good. It had the emotion and everything that you wanted, and it had the outcome that you wanted, because granted, everyone watching this probably did worry that, are they going to give the belts to the Usos again because, well, they are the old guard and
the heels, and it's the bill for the thing. It was Rhino, by the way. I've just looked it up. Yeah. Rhino was the final. January the 7th, 2001, guilty as charged. He was the final ECW heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Heath Slater and Rhino. I thought it was a really good match.
Yeah.
Fantastic match. It was a real sort of. I don't care if you like Heath Slater or you hate Heath Slater. You got behind Heath Slater and Rhino in this match.
Yes, you
did. And when the payoff came, the end of the match, basically, there was a schmoz in the ring. Rhino hit, I think it was either Jay, obviously would have been either Jay or Jimmy, I can't remember which one.
Hit him with a gore.
Slater rolled over, 1, 2, 3, new champs. The place went apeshit.
It was one of the biggest pops of the night.
Yeah, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. It was just...
we got a double wide!
Woo! It was awesome. I just hope they do some other video now where it shows him in his new caravan and stuff.
I hope so.
And the kids have got new shoes on and
they're not eating string cheese anymore.
Yeah, and the little one's got a tongue and stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be great. That was the was one of the highlights of the night for me.
Was that your match of the night, Benny?
I wouldn't say it was match of the night, no, but it was one of the highlights because it, like I say, once again, it had an old school feel. It was the build was there, the build, and then the payoff was well worth it. I mean, they've been building this since July with the brand split. So Heath Slater has been sort of back and two, doing anything. The guy took a beating from Brock Lesnar to try and get a Raw contract. So it was a fantastic match. The ending was thingy, but it's going to be interesting to see now whether you could see cracks forming in the team on SmackDown this week. On SmackDown, if you haven't seen SmackDown this week, why? You know, it's not very long. But
it's an hour and 25 without the breaks.
The Heath, even less when you fast forward the crap. I've done SmackDown in just under an hour in the past. Just fast forward.
Oh look, Heath Slater.
Yeah, the Heath Slater contract signing, and him and Rhino didn't kind of seem on the same page at times. I'm thinking, what are they doing with this? Do you think it's going to be a case? I mean, I doubt Rhino's been signed for any sort of long-term contract.
The mega powers explode.
Yes, like book it for Survivor Series.
Yeah.
I don't know if, like I say, if there's going to be some sort of split between them, because like I say, Rhino probably hasn't been given he's an indie guy at the moment, apparently going into politics.
Yeah, he is.
He probably hasn't been given a long-time contract, so give it another month or so, maybe not even that, he'll probably disappear, they'll split, and he'll disappear. But the Ascension have kind of stepped up and said, well, you know, you're going to defend your belt anytime, anywhere, any place, so we want to fight you.
Well, they fought them, and they lost.
So I don't know if that's going to carry on as a storyline or what.
We'll see.
But it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from here on in.
Yes.
Which brings us to our main event of the evening, defending WWE World Champion Dean the Lunatic's Fringe Ambrose, fighting the phenomenal one, the Keyboard Warrior's wet dream.
God,
Jesus. But he's not. I refuse to call him Jesus. You know why? That's Seth Rollins.
Yes,
CrossFit Jesus. Yes. AJ Styles. What a run. Since coming in at the Rumble at number 3 in January.
9 months, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, 9 months.
9 months.
What a run AJ Styles has had. Everything he's done. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I worried because I've seen AJ. I watched AJ a lot at TNA when he was there, and he was one of the top. He was one of the TNA originals. You know, he was there. Was it 12 years, 13 years? He was at TNA. Seen odds and sods. I'm not a big indie guy, but if somebody says, "Oh, you need to watch such and such a match from 2003 with CM Punk and Samoa Joe," watch it. What is CM Punk on this week?
Yeah.
I'll watch it. I'll go on YouTube and watch it. I'm like I say, I'm not a big indie guy, but AJ Styles, you can't ignore what this guy has done in the wrestling, not the sports entertainment, but the pro wrestling world as a whole.
Yeah.
You cannot ignore what AJ Styles has done.
Of course you can.
The guy is he is phenomenal.
He's money.
He's not glorious.
He's money.
And he really is. And I worried for a little while what are the Fed going to do with him, because they've had big stars like this before, and they've sort of they've gone by the wayside and been losing to R-Truth at the pre-show. But AJ Styles has literally breezed through, and everything he's done has been phenomenal. I don't know. I think they tried to replicate. The only thing I would say, I'm going off now. I'm sort of getting my words mixed up. The one thing I will say, I think they sort of said, "Nah, that doesn't work," was the whole club thing.
Yeah.
I think that's why they split him at the brand split.
Yeah.
Because it didn't work. The whole trying to recreate Bullet Club. You can't replicate magic like that.
It's like trying to recreate the NWO.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't work now because Kevin Nash would blow his quads walking down the aisle. Scott Hall would be too pissed, and Hogan would be shouting at everyone in the crowd. I won't say who he was shouting at, but you know who I'm on about. Yeah. But AJ Styles, wow. You know, the guy is talented, and, you know, it's what I love is the guy has got better and better over the years, and people who are seeing him for the first time now, like yourself and other people who are sort of have never really bothered with TNA because it hasn't always been the best, are just blown away by how good he is.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's not the biggest guy in the ring, he's not the muscliest guy in the ring, but he's probably, as far as heart and talent go, he's up there with Great Khali.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I've never, before now, I'd never seen AJ Styles in the ring. Well, until he came to WWE. mean, I'd seen the Shinsuke Nakamura fight. I saw that. Didn't think much of it, if I'm honest. I'll probably get flamed now, but there you go. So when he came in, I thought, right, let's see what this guy can do. So Rumble came, and I was like, okay, they've booked him quite strong. Good. That's a good start. Let's see where he goes from here. And then we got him and Jericho, which was interesting.
Yeah, Y2AJ.
Y2AJ. Then we got the feud, which was interesting. And then came John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
That's when AJ shone the brightest, in my opinion. And it's like we've said time and time again, wrestling is only you can only wrestle as good as your as good as the partner you're given.
Yeah.
It's like we said last time, it's like dancing. You have a good partner, you have a good dance. You have a good partner, you have a good wrestling match. When AJ Styles was in the ring with John Cena, it was magic. It really was. Which is very different to what happened at Backlash. We had AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, against Mr. Wet Blanket Dean Ambrose.
Yeah. Stone Cold's new best friend.
Yeah, exactly. Going back to the match now. We had, like I said, we had AJ Styles doing all this great stuff, but because Dean Ambrose isn't quite there yet, it felt very fumbly.
Yeah, the
it
problem
didn't
with
feel
Ambrose
right.
is his style.
Yeah.
He's sort of, in that sense, it's an odd comparison to make, but I would almost compare him to sort of somebody like Enzo Amore.
Yeah.
Because their style is really sort of scrappy and unpolished, and it gets the job done.
Yeah.
You know, it's basic wrestling, but with a lot of sort of unorthodox moves that work. But when you're wrestling a guy like AJ Styles, who is just athletically gifted and is an amazing wrestler, it's sometimes it's either hit or miss. I wouldn't say this was a miss, but it was sort of it left a little to be desired. Yeah,
it's a shame because it's a match that could have been great, but it really wasn't. I suppose it doesn't help the fact that AJ's last big match was with John Cena. I suppose that doesn't help because that match was match of the year.
Yeah, I was about to say, for me, this was one of, if not the match of the year, as far as we're concerned. Brilliant. Yeah. But yeah, AJ, well contested match. Couple of odd spots. Ambrose giving it a little bit of the heel thing, considering they don't. You know, you're supposed to cheer for Ambrose and you're supposed to boo AJ.
It was the other way.
Oh yeah. It was not as extreme, but it almost felt like Punk. A lot of Punk again.
Yeah.
Punk Cena Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Where Punk was supposed to be the bad guy and we were supposed to be cheering for him, and Cena was the good guy and you were supposed to cheer him. But you know.
And AJ got the belt.
Yeah, AJ.
Which everyone splooged over.
Yeah, definitely. Some amazing spots like the springboard splash for the near fall.
Yeah.
The broadcast table spot when he leapt over the barriers. That was a really interesting spot. Yeah. Bit of an odd ending. I like what they did with the ending because they're still not saying AJ is a face, get behind him because he's also he had to win with heel tactics once again. A good old kick to the spuds.
Yeah, when the referee was distracted.
Which was addressed on Smackdown again this week. You need to have watched Smackdown.
Yeah.
You divils.
Yeah.
But as addressed on Smackdown, the what do you say? Kick to the jewels.
Yeah, the kick to the jewels.
Kick to the jewels. But yeah, AJ won. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting him to put the belt on him so soon because unfortunately, I mean, I don't know if this'll work, if this'll happen to AJ Styles. But if you look in the past, Kevin Nash, Sheamus, they put the belt on him pretty much straight away, and then it's a case of where do you go from there? I mean, they never managed to build Kevin Nash back up again, and they seem to be struggling with building Sheamus back up again.
Well, it's one of those. It's I think that there's a couple of reasons why they could have done this. One, because AJ deserves it. Which is very true. My second reason is crap. They've given the belt to Kevin Owens. We need to give it to someone like him. Who have we got? AJ Styles, right? Give it to him. Not saying that's the reason, and I'm not saying that's what I believe, but I'm just saying that could be another reason. But my ultimate reason is because obviously he deserves it, and he's a top talent, and who else could you give it to?
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah. But moving on from here, we've got the three-way dance.
And No Mercy.
Yeah, No Mercy. Named after the greatest wrestling game of all time.
What, this one right here?
No Mercy in the video case.
Yes, it is. Carry on.
Yeah, No Mercy.
So far we have for that, I believe we have obviously the World Championship, which is a three-way dance between John Cena, Dean Ambrose, and AJ Styles. And we also have probably the women's title up for grabs, which will be Becky Lynch. And
Alexa Bliss.
Thank you.
Yeah,
my mind went blank then.
It's going to be taking place on October the 9th, 2016 at the Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. This will be the 12th event in the No Mercy chronology. Yeah. I think chronology is a word, but it is now.
It is now, yeah.
All in all, for me, this felt like I said to you before, it was a sort of a jacked up episode of Smackdown. It was a little bit longer. Some of the matches were a bit better. He didn't get as much talking, thank God.
Yeah.
It was some really good high spots, and at times it did feel like old school It felt like WWF at times because of some of the heel face things and everything. But
it did.
All in all, it wasn't the best pay-per-view I've ever seen.
There wasn't really any matches I could think, I'll go back and watch that again. I thought about watching John Cena Styles from SummerSlam again recently, but none of them I could go back and watch. But it was a little bit of a slog to get to at times, but I'm not disappointed I saw it.
We had enough snacks to get through.
Yes, we did. So, what's the next pay-per-view?
The next pay-per-view we have got is Clash of the Champions.
Clash of the Champions.
As Mick Foley said, but did you notice on the beginning of Raw this week, they cut out the bit?
Yeah.
It's like Clash of Champions.
Yeah.
It's like Mr. Black.
Unfortunately, I won't be here for this one.
No, Danny's on holiday in Disney.
Yes, I am. So
Disneyland Paris.
So you'll be flying solo.
I will be flying solo and possibly trying a new sort of format as far as review go. I'm not going to say too much because if it doesn't work, then it'll just be me sitting there going, "Hello, there was some men fighting and one of them won." Ta-da! And that'll be that.
From the Wrestling Babble News Centre.
Yeah, it's like Mean Gene. Oh, like Sean Mooney.
Yeah, Sean
Mooney.
With all
them tellies behind me.
Yeah.
I haven't got enough tellies to do it though, so I'll have to just go on the thingy.
Yeah.
On the toilet or something. But yeah, as is that Clash of Champions, watch it on the WWE Network for $9.99 a month. It's always worth it. It's what are you gonna do with £10? £10, that's what 2 coffees at Starbucks. You know, and you get loads of great TV shows and all. You got 19 pay-per-views a year.
Just think about when you have to book them through box office. Just think of it that way.
It boggles my mind to still think they do box office events on Sky. Come on, Sky, wake up. More people would probably subscribe. They'd probably stop watching Raw and SmackDown on Daily Motion and watch it on Sky Sports if you put all the events on there for free. But such is life. Brings us to the end of this week's episode of This time's episode of Wrestling Babble. And once again, don't forget to look us up on Facebook at Wrestling Babble. We're a group, so you have to wait for a acceptance. We're a group that talks about all wrestling, new wrestling, Japanese wrestling, American wrestling, European wrestling, and everything else in between. We're a nice bunch of people. We've built up a nice community where we can discuss things in a friendly and positive manner, so we don't troll or anything like that.
And if you will troll, you will be deleted.
Exactly.
I will delete your ass.
And don't forget also to check out our friends at the Match Wrestling Podcast, Dazzy, Phoenix, Butcher. They're every week on a Sunday and they cover a whole plethora of things going on in wrestling. It's a 2-hour show, so they've got all kinds of fun goodness in there. Don't forget to check them out. They're on Facebook at Match Wrestling. Thank you very much for watching Wrestling Babble. From all of us at Babble Studios, Babble on, and we will see you at Clash of Champions.
Bye.